Live from the KDAL studios at Lake and Superior Street in downtown Duluth, it's Stars Over the Prairie with 8-time Minnesota Music Award winner Paul Metsa, featuring cool people from all walks of life in all 50 states. Check out previous show podcasts at northlandnewsradio.com. Call or text Paul at 218-722-0839 or email paul@paulmetsa.com. Now, the other great folk singer from Minnesota's Mesabi Iron Range. Here's Paul Metsa.
And I wish I could see stars over the
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Stars Over the Prairie. We got a great show today. As soon as my wingman, Chris Allen, gets my headphones on, we're going to be rocking big time. We've got two great guests, of course, George Marinelli and Stan Kipper. We're going to tell you about their great new recording project, and I'm going to tell you about how cool those guys are. Of course, we are broadcasting from the Zenith City by the Unsalted Sea, Duluth, Minnesota. We are just 238 somersaults down the hill from Bob Dylan's childhood home, and we are just a stone's throw away from Bob Dylan's way in here in Tilttown, the air-conditioned city. It's I've had a great week. Chris, how was your week?
My week has been very busy. I have family in town, and I've had other guests that have come to town, so I've been busy, like, visiting mostly.
Cool. Did you happen to read this issue of Rolling Stone?
Oh, I heard there was some guy I know was featured in it or something like that. I'm not sure what the story was.
The story is, I'm honored to share with the listening public out there that the song I recorded called No Kings, No Crown with the great Alan Sparhawk was named one of the top 25 protest songs of 2026.
Yeah.
And this week's Rolling Stone, we came in at number 13.
Wow.
Yeah, we we were behind a couple of guys you might have heard of. I think Springsteen was at number 2.
Yeah, he sings or something like that.
Yeah, he's a singer. He's from New Jersey, plays a little guitar.
Right.
Then there's that guy from Canada, Neil Young. You might have heard of him.
Vaguely familiar.
Anyway, it was a real honor to have that song mentioned. I have no idea. There was a friend of mine named Pat Francisco who runs a wealth management firm in town. He's about 5 years older than me, and he texted it to me. And it goes, usually you think it's something like that from a fellow rock and roller.
Yeah.
But here's a rock and roll wealth management guy. So, Patrick, thanks for sending it to me. It's been fun. I've got a lot of outreach from my friends around the country that have seen it. And, it's a big honor. And, of course, I want to thank the great Al Sparhawk for taking part and helping me write that and perform them.
It's about time you made it. I mean, you've been plunking away here.
Well, if my mother was still with us, I would have bought her 5 copies.
Nice.
But enough about me. We've got 2 great musicians on that I am honored to say are both friends of mine. I met George Marinelli when I was recording my record Whistling Past the Graveyard 1992 in Nashville, Tennessee. He was a great guitar player playing with Bruce Hornsby in the Range at the time. Bucky Baxter, who was playing with Bob Dylan at the time, owned a studio with Gary Talent, who's still playing bass with Bruce Springsteen, called Moondog Studios. And I went down there to do a demo tape turned into a full-length record, and they called in this really good-looking curly-haired guy named George Marinelli to play on it. And he was phenomenal. We've been in touch over the years. He also played guitar with Bonnie Raitt for 30 years.
I think I know her.
The guy knows how to play guitar. And the great percussionist who I've had the honor to play with in duos and bands and hang out, the great Stan Kipper, who's been leading a great band called the New Primitives down in the Twin Cities. I call them kind of the Neville Brothers of the Northern Quarter here.
That's I would say that too, now that you say it that way.
They're so we've got them both on. They've got a record called Precious Memories. They are giving us the worldwide radio debut to hear a couple of the songs on it. And it's called the Marinelli Kipper Project. Before we get the gentleman on the air, we're going to hear a little bit of Stan Kipper's track with the New Primitives, and then we're going to hear some new stuff. We're going to have an old song or a recent song by George Marinelli as well, and then we're going to have tracks from the Marinelli Kipper project.
Take you dancing all night dancing me and you. Baby, let me take you dancing all night dancing just us two. All night dancing. Everybody doing what they do, holding hands, stealing kisses in the moonlight. Everybody deep into the groove. Somebody gonna bust out singing, yeah. Somebody gonna roll on the floor.
Oh yeah, All Night Dancing by the New Primitives. That's the great Stan Kipper writes. He sings, he plays drums, and he looks good while he's doing it. We've got him on with the great George Marinelli. How are you gentlemen doing this morning?
Good morning, fellas.
Hey, good morning, Paul. Good morning, Chris.
Yeah.
Good morning, George.
Yeah. Well, this is the first time we've had two guests on the phone over the radio, so we're going to just try to be cool and keep it so we know which guy is talking. But let's start with Stan Kipper. Stan, tell us a little bit about, you've been a busy guy. You just put out this record with the Prims. You got the new one with Marinelli. And then you just got back from where the heck were you with that great? Stan is also a playwright. Tell us about the play and where you just were with it, Stanley.
Well, we were just in Los Angeles. The Road Theater did their 17th annual Playwrights Festival, and they had 600 submissions for their festival, and they picked my play, along with my co-writer Laura Drake. They picked our play, Behind the Sun, to be read during their festival, so we were out there for that. It was a marvelous experience, and of course we were knocked out stupid. 600 plays, and they took ours and like 20 others out of 600, so that was a huge thing for us. It was amazing to be back in our hometown, Shaky Town, for the debut of that.
That is so fantastic. And George Marinelli, you've got a prefix that says you're living in Nashville, but I don't think you are anymore. Are you?
I'm not in Nashville, but I kept the prefix. Saw no reason to change phone numbers, and we're now in Connecticut.
Cool. Well,
since 2019, and we're loving it up here.
You know, George, I just bumped into a guy. I play every Saturday night at this little Carmony's Irish Pub, 308 East Superior Street, from 6 to 8 every Saturday. I'll be there tonight. But I bumped into a guy a couple of weeks ago. He was a science fiction writer and a bit of a space cadet.
John? Is his name John?
No. But
okay.
We started talking, and he gave me, I said, you'd be a great guy to have on the radio. So he gave me his phone number. It had a 212 prefix. I said, what, do you live in New York? He goes, no, I haven't lived in New York for 30 years, but I love having that cool prefix. So, yeah, well, cool, man. So, George Marinelli, you and I met in 1992, and I believe were you playing with Bruce Hornsby then, or when did you start playing? How long were you with Bruce, and then when did you start playing with Bonnie?
Okay, I was with Bruce until about 91. So I left right before you and I met. I was with Bruce for the first 3 albums, all those hits and everything. And then I started playing with Bonnie in 93. So there was a couple of years there where I was just doing session work. And then I did a record with Bonnie, and she asked me to join the band, and it took me 5 seconds to make a decision, and I said, sure. And then I went through to the end of 2022, and it's 30 years, and I just decided I didn't want to be on a tour bus anymore. But it wasn't anything musical or personal. It was just, I'd done it.
A long time in the tube, as they say.
Yes, yes.
We've got a track before we get to that great Marinelli Kipper project and listen to those songs. We got a little bit of a recent song that George recorded called, I believe it's called Can't Be Justified. Can you pull that up, Chris Allen?
Don't say Justified.
Okay, yeah, pull it up.
That's it. Don't say Justified.
All right.
I wrote it the day. Am I still on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I just wrote it the day after. I saw that Alex Preddy was murdered on the street. Just like everyone else in the country with a brain, I was outraged. So I wrote that song that night and recorded it the next day and put it out the next day after that on Bandcamp.
Let's hear it.
Cool.
One, two, three. Don't you cross the street alone. Don't you cross the road at night. Masking shadows round the bend, hiding in plain sight again. Don't say justified. It's wrongful execution. People talking in the street, many voices loud and clear. Stand aside, watch your mouth, step out of line, better watch out. Boy, this ain't your town anymore. Hey man, what are you doing? What's going on here?
Oh, yeah, that sounds really good, George. I've never heard you sing, and I'm impressed.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And by the way, couple of little corrections. It's the Kipper Marinelli project.
Okay. Well, I wrote this up.
Alphabetical.
Yeah, well, there
and
you
also,
go.
The album's called Precious Times, not Precious Memories. Precious Times.
I did all my research first thing in the morning, and I only got 4 hours of sleep, George, so I apologize.
Oh, no sweat at all. The coffee hadn't kicked in yet.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's ask your buddy, Stan Kipper. When did you meet Mr. Marinelli, Mr. Kipper?
Well, I met George when we were both in Los Angeles, and we met with Andrew Gold. I was playing drums with Andrew Gold, and Andrew hired George to come in and play guitar, and we hooked up there. We, we're in America, rolling across America in the tube, but that's how we met. We both played with Andrew Gold, and after Andrew's thing, we stayed in touch with each other, but we hadn't seen each other for a while. And, Bonnie came through Minneapolis a couple of years ago to the State Fair. And George was on the show, of course, and he, we hooked up there. We met backstage, and after that, we stayed in touch. And here we are today, my brother.
All right, and we are the Kipper Marinelli Project. We're going to listen to some tracks. The worldwide radio debut. Say, what was Andrew Gold's, what was his big hit? I think he's had a few, but what was the one people would remember if it came up on the radio?
Thank you for being here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
And also I gotta
what was
say
the
this.
other one?
Say
it again?
The other one, what was the other one, George?
I'm trying to think. Oh, Lonely Boy.
Yeah, Lonely Boy.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to chime in there for a second because that's the one I know him for.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
I got to say this. Brother Paul with No Kings, No Crowns. I played drums on that with Paul. And
That's
I'm
right,
so proud of
man.
Paul. Yeah, man. I'm so proud of Paul for that, y'all. That's huge. Almost as huge as me and George.
How about, what we would say in the radio business equally as huge as me and George?
There you go, my brother. There you go, Paul. Love you, man.
Hey, let's listen to, let's see, I Must Be Blind off the new Kipper Marinelli project.
Right on.
Yeah.
A couple of people gone crazy. I walk on the water with you, it's gonna save me. I become you, you become me. We dance side by side together endlessly. I didn't see your love so fine. There's something wrong with me. I must be blind.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm digging that pump and bass. George Marinelli, were you playing the bass on that?
I was, and the guitars and keyboards, yeah.
Wow. You are a multi-talented human being. Now, how did you guys... did you just decide, hey, we're going to get in and just do some tracks? You're not thinking about a record deal or anything. You just want to work together and see if you can get a vibe, which you certainly did. But what was the chronology of that relationship in this project?
Well, Stan mentioned that we caught up again in person after some years at the Minnesota State Fair. More coffee, please. And we talked then. We said, hey, because I didn't know Stan wrote or sang before that.
Oh, yeah.
Stan, I don't think you sang backgrounds with Andrew, did you?
Not really. Only just briefly. But not live.
Yeah. So we said, hey, why don't we try writing a couple of things? We'll put out an EP, and we just enjoyed it so much that we kept going, and now we have an album, and we recorded long distance.
Yeah.
In a very convoluted way, but I don't think it sounds that way. I think it worked. We made it gel, and Stan wrote some great lyrics and sang some great leads, and we got some good music going, and I dig the record. Yeah, I think Stan does too.
Well, I've known Stan for years, and I've seen him play with a variety of outfits over the years in the Twin Cities. But Stan and I did a little duo together. I guess we could have called it the Metsa Kipper Project, the duo that delivers a few years back. And we were driving in the car going to the gig. I think I had picked up Stan. And one of my favorite all-time summertime songs came on by Jay Ferguson, Thunder Island. And I'm cranking it in the car, and I'm going, Stan, dig this, Stan. And Stan goes, you hear those timbales and those high vocals? I go, yeah. He goes, that's me singing and playing it. So we know Stan can sing, but, this is just a wonderful project. What was it? Stan, did you write most of the lyrics, or George, did you chime in with some wordplay?
Well, I think George jumped into the writer cage with me, but I wrote the majority of the lyrics for this, and we talked about everything before we did it. So it was just channeling our thoughts and our relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yes, I did the majority of the lyrical adventures on this project for us.
Stanley, you're amazing. You since I've known you, you put out about 3 or 4 records. You play regularly. You got you've written a award-winning play, and now you've got this new disc out. And you just recently put out the new Prims record, I believe, within the last 18 months, right?
Yes, definitely.
Hey,
it's been prolific time, and I'm just extremely, I feel blessed and fortunate and everything, especially to be back in the saddle with George. It's an amazing thing for me.
I got to ask George Marinelli a question. George, when did you, where did you grow up, and when did you hook up? When did Bruce Hornsby hear you and hire you for the first time?
I was born in New York, Staten Island.
Okay.
And when, I guess the summer I was turning 14, my family moved to L.A. And then, like everybody in L.A., I was in 4 or 5 bands all the time, and then was able to start doing sessions when I was in my early 20s. So I always kind of juggled being in bands and doing session work, and then I got into some writing. But I met Bruce. How did I meet Bruce? We had a common friend, John Molo, who was the drummer in The Range. I was playing in another band with him, and he said, hey, my buddy, his name's Bruce Hornsby, he's a songwriter, blah, blah, blah. And I played on a demo for Bruce along with John and along with Joe Puerta from Ambrosia, who eventually also ended up in The Range. And then, a few weeks later, I get a call from Bruce, and he said, hey, man, you want to start a band? And I said, well, why not? That'll make number 5 or 6. So sure, yeah,
sure.
Well, let's do it. And that's how it happened. So we started playing clubs in L.A. And then we got a record deal and had a handful of top 5 hits. It was great for, I guess, a 5 or 6, 8-year period. I forget what it was.
Wow.
But yeah, it was fun, and I'm really proud of those records too. So
it's great stuff. Say, we're going to hear from the people that keep us on the air, and then we're going to be back with George Marinelli and Stan Kipper from the Kipper Marinelli Project. Here's some more of these great new tracks and get more of the story. But first, thank you to the people that keep this Stars Over the Prairie weekly on the air.
I'm Zach, and I had Z-LASIK at Weiss Eye Center. I was sick of wearing glasses. I've had glasses since 3rd grade. Dealing with the nuisance of glasses kind of reached that point of I just need to get LASIK. I was a little nervous, but knowing now what that process all entailed, I wouldn't have been nervous if I knew. Everybody's really nice here. Not a bad thing to say about anybody. Everybody's happy, and everybody here's nice. And I mean, it's day 1 post-op, and I mean, it's crazy. Crazy.
Weiss Eye Center is the only clinic to offer blade-free Z-LASIK in the Northland. To find out more and to arrange your free consultation, call 218-625-1917 today or visit weisseyecenter.com for more information. Weiss Eye Center. See the best.
Rocky Wall Entertainment presents Music in the Park in Silver Bay at City Center Park. These concerts have been rated as one of the best summer events on the North Shore, and it's free. See acts like the Belfast Cowboys, Lolo's Ghost, Jeff Dayton Band, Eric Kiskinen Band, Turn, 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 and the Scarlet Goodbye. Perfect entertainment for the family. Join Rocky Wall Entertainment and Silver Bay for the free Music in the Park series of concerts every Friday starting July 17th at City Center Park next to City Hall. This is an all-weather event. In the case of inclement weather, the concerts will be moved indoors to the Reunion Hall. This is the 6th year of bringing the best of Americana music to the North Country. Arrive early and pick up some dinner and beverages for your own picnic dinner. For more information, visit RockyWallEntertainment.org or see Rocky Wall Entertainment on Facebook. You're invited to the Great Lakes Candy Kitchen, open for another season for all your candy pleasure. They're located on Scenic Highway 61, 10 miles north of Duluth in Knife River. They're 3rd and 4th generation candy makers using traditional copper kettles to make their caramels, fudge brittles, and chocolate-dipped hot air. When you visit Great Lakes Candy Kitchen, be sure and try their famous Nutty Ice Cream Bar. Tell them you heard it on Stars Over the Prairie. Great Lakes Candy Kitchen, located just 10 miles north of Duluth in Knife River.
Twin Ports, Iron Range, and Northwest Wisconsin. This is Stars Over the Prairie with Paul Metsa on KDAL.
nights and days. I'm living in a flyover state. Underneath blue skies, hypnotic nights and days. Yes, I'm living in a flyover state. Sometimes I can see forever, like time is standing still. Don't think that I ever felt any better. Don't think I ever will, because underneath blue skies, hypnotic nights.
All right, that is called Flyover State by the Kipper Marinelli Project. We've got the two prime movers who are playing on that with us via the phone, one from Connecticut, one, I believe, from Minneapolis, George Marinelli and Stan Kipper, both, I'm honored to say, are friends of mine. Stan, tell us a little bit about, you've had just such a storied career playing with artists such as Joe Walsh, Bill Withers, James Taylor, and more, and Paul Metsa as well, I might add. But tell us about your gig with Minnie Riperton. It starts in a studio in Los Angeles, and you end up on stage at Carnegie Hall. Tell the folks that story. It blew my mind when you first told me it.
Well, you know, I was in my apartment in Los Angeles, and of course I knew Minnie from back in the day when she was with Rotary Connection, goes way back. Some of you rock and rollers remember Rotary out of Chicago. But anyway, we're all in Los Angeles, and I was out there recording the last Gypsy album. And, Gypsy disbanded, and I was sitting in my apartment one day, and all of a sudden, this guy shows up at the door, and he's looking for me, and I was like, who is this? And it turned out to be Tom Consolo from Irving A's office. Irving had the Eagles, he had Joe Walsh, he had REO, and he had Minnie. And Tom Consolo rolls through there and asked if I'm there. Anyway, Minnie asked me to come and join the band in the middle of the tour, right? And I'd never been in a limousine or to New York City before. The next thing I know, the guy says, well, will you join? Minnie wants to know if you joined a band. I said, yeah. He says, well, here, and he gives me 2 cassettes. He says, learn these songs, and oh, by the way, a limousine's coming to pick you up at 4 a.m. You're going to New York City, and your first show is going to be at Madison Square Garden. You're opening for Stevie Wonder.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Wow. Unbelievable is right.
Still open now from that,
Yeah.
So I get to New York City with Minnie, and, that I owe my whole career to her. I played with her, worked with her the whole time until she got cancer and got too sick to perform. I think about her all the time. Minnie, she's responsible for everything that happened to me, actually, in rock and roll.
Wow,
she introduced
Stan,
me to Jay Ferguson.
Oh, really? You never told me that story, Stan, after all these years. That's amazing. We got to do more radio so I can find out all this stuff.
I thought I told you that, my brother.
No, never heard that.
Well, this is the kind of information you find and on Stars Over the Prairie. So, Stan, I didn't realize until you and I were talking a year or two ago, Minnie Riperton is Maya Rudolph's mother.
Yes, she is. She's Maya's mom, and if you check Maya out, you'll see Minnie shining through her every time.
Wow.
Every time you'll see Minnie shining through Maya. It's a beautiful thing. And like I said, Minnie, she's the one who introduced me to Jay Ferguson and all the rest of this stuff. Randy Meisner and all these guys. Minnie, bless her heart, hooked me up with Jay.
Wow.
And the rest is history. Then George and I, of course, we run into each other with Andrew Gold and everything. It's been a beautiful thing. And I love George, as you know. he's my favorite, and I don't know what to say. Even such a great guitar player and such a great dude. I'm very fortunate to be making records with George, and we're just getting started.
George,
thank you, man. That's awfully nice. It's mutual.
George, now I'm going to ask you, between Bonnie Raitt and Bruce Hornsby, you've rubbed shoulders with just a plethora of wonderful musicians from around the world. But as it's Jerry Garcia's birthday today, his heavenly birthday, I know Bruce Hornsby and the Range did some shows with the Grateful Dead. What can you tell us about those concerts?
I think we opened for them, I want to say 10 or 12 times. I guess it was the 80s, yeah. And it was big places, and it was just a funny thing because they were so anti-music business, and I kind of respected them for that they weren't trying to be radio or television friendly. They didn't give a darn. Sorry, I caught myself. I almost swore.
My finger was ready.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Somebody's called. Anyway, so I thought that was kind of cool that they were, half the people, most of the time, we're playing stadiums. We play RFK Stadium and all these on the East Coast mostly. I honestly don't remember them all because my brain doesn't work. Are we still on?
Oh, we are still on.
Oh, okay.
And besides, who are you guys?
So anyway, I that's what impressed me was that, they're following these, you know what that's like. The Deadheads follow them all over the planet and even to other planets. So there being as many people on the periphery, on the outside of the stadium, hanging around, selling food, selling arts and crafts and soap and candles and all this stuff, than there were inside listening to the music. It was just a whole thing. It was a whole other society they kind of created, which I kind of, I thought was cool. Who can do that? Now, I don't even know if they did that on purpose, intentionally, or what, but that's what happened.
Well, you know what they say. How do you know that you've had a Deadhead coming to your house as a guest?
Yeah,
they're still there.
Yeah, there are a few other of those floating around too. Yeah.
George, tell us a bit. Did you get a chance to listen to Dead, and what did you think about Garcia as a guitar player?
Yeah, he had his own thing. He had a signature. He's one of those guitar players to me, and there's a handful of them that they play a few notes, and you're blindfolded. Nobody tells you who it is, and you know who it is. So I could say this, Jeff Beck could play 3 notes, and I would know it was Jeff Beck. Keith Richards could do that. There aren't that many.
Right.
And he's one of them, yeah.
Now, you're out in Connecticut. I'm not assuming you live in Keith Richards' neighborhood. I know Keith lives in Connecticut. Have you ever been able to bump in on a musical level with Keith Richards?
Well, we opened for the Stones 3 times.
Wow. Tell us about
Bonnie's. Oh, it was great, and Ricky Fattar in Bonnie's band, the drummer, who's really one of my closest pals, like Stan is, and Ricky, I don't know if you know who he is, but he was one of the Ruddles. Do you know who the Ruddles were?
Oh, yeah.
And he's done all kinds of stuff. He knows everybody. He was close friends with George Harrison and Clapton, and he knows Keith. So at least 2 of the 3 nights, we would be hanging in Keith's personal dressing room with him.
Wow.
So, and what you see is what you get. There's no put on with him. He's exactly the same on and off stage and on and off camera. So that was really fun. And what was the question? I forgot.
Well,
no, we don't live anywhere near him. Connecticut is a horizontal state.
Yeah.
And the ritzy part is over towards the New York side, right? And so that's Fairfield County, where you have to, I think the cheapest house there is probably $25 million. We don't live in that neighborhood. Needless to say, we're over more central. We're just 25 minutes east of New Haven.
Right. Can I ask you, if it doesn't be too personal, George, how did it end up with Bruce Hornsby? Was it your decision? Was it management's decision?
Oh, it was my decision. It was, it wasn't personal. He and I are still pals. He called 2 days ago. I need to return his call. I quit, basically.
Okay.
I told him, I said, look, I don't agree with what's going on a lot now musically, and business things were changing. And I didn't like where it's going, and I thought these guys are my really close pals. I wanted to stay that way, so I quit, yeah. It's fine. He was okay with it.
Yeah. Well, and, you take a year or two off, and the next thing you know, you record with Paul Metsa, and the next thing you know, Bonnie Raitt calls you.
The three heavies.
Stan, before we go to break, I got to ask Stan Kipper. You played with some greats, but I really want to know about a guy that just seems so cool. Tell us a Bill Withers story.
Oh yeah, Bill Withers, man. He was, at the time I was playing with Minnie, and he saw me playing with Minnie, right?
Mm-hmm.
God, I get this call from Bill. He says, hello, is this Stan Kipper? I said, yeah. Who's this? He says, this is Bill Withers. I hung up on his ass. Excuse me. I hung up, Paul.
Oh, man.
Bill Withers. Right. Nice talking to you.
Right.
Bang. And he calls back.
Wow.
Bill calls back. He says, man, for real, don't hang up on me now. This is Bill Withers. He said, I got a few shows coming up. The first one's in Montreal, and I'm getting ready to go up here and play the Columbia Records Convention. And I'd really like you to come and play with me. Would you come and play? And I said, okay, right. So, the thing about Bill, I went up to his house, and at the time I was driving a 1968 Ford Galaxy that one side was caved in, braggart. I went up to his house, and I pulled up to this driveway up in Benedict Canyon, which is above Laurel Canyon, and there's this gate there, right? And I get up there and I get out of the car and ring the button, and I said, "Is this Bill?" He says, "Yeah, let me open the gate for you." So he pushes the button and the gate opens up, and I'm driving my hoopty up this immaculate cobblestoned driveway in Benedict Canyon, right? And I get up to the top of the thing, and Bill's waiting for me, and I get out of my hoopty, and I'm like, wow, But we hit it off right away. He was such a humble guy.
Yeah.
And, his band, he had the Brothers Johnson in his band before anybody knew who he was. He had Larry Nash playing keyboards, and he was Joni Mitchell's musical guy.
Right.
He had Ray Parker in his band before Ray started making hits. He had Wah Wah Watson, and he had David T. Walker and me. I sat there and I spent, I got there first. I spent all afternoon with Bill, and, his wife had just moved out, so he was up in this big old mansion. The place was empty. But he was such a sweet, soulful guy. And at that time, he was bent on Los Angeles. And he really didn't want to have much to do. He was just trying to decide whether or not he was going to bail on the music business, right?
Wow.
Before he had all these great hits with Grover Cleveland and all these dudes. But he was such a humble guy and such a sweetheart. That experience with him never left me. And I think he really liked me because I was a small town dude from Minneapolis, and I wasn't under the influence of the big Hollywood thing like neither was he.
I know.
So we sat up there and rehearsed, and he recorded some of those rehearsals, and some of that stuff I think is on his first Columbia record. But yeah, Bill was something else. He had a profound effect on me.
I love these stories. We've got Stan Kipper and George Marinelli from the Kipper Marinelli Project. We're going to take a little break and come back and talk for the rest of the show with Stan and George. And thanks for listening to Stars Over the Prairie. We'll be right back.
Rocky Wall Entertainment presents Music in the Park in Silver Bay at City Center Park. These concerts have been rated as one of the best summer events on the North Shore, and it's free. See acts like the Belfast Cowboys, Lolo's Ghost, Jeff Dayton Band, Eric Kiskinen Band, Turn, 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 and the Scarlet Goodbye. Perfect entertainment for the family. Join Rocky Wall Entertainment and Silver Bay for the free Music in the Park series of concerts every Friday starting July 17th at City Center Park next to City Hall. This is an all-weather event. In the case of inclement weather, the concerts will be moved indoors to the Reunion Hall. This is the 6th year of bringing the best of Americana music to the North Country. Arrive early and pick up some dinner and beverages for your own picnic dinner. For more information, visit RockyWallEntertainment.org or see Rocky Wall Entertainment on Facebook.
I'm Joe, and I had Z LASIK at Weiss Eye Center. The funny thing is I absolutely hated buying a contact solution because I thought it was such a racket having to spend $15 on a bottle of contact solution. And that's just one thing, is just not having to buy that stuff anymore, or glasses or anything like that. For me, it's mainly just I like to hunt and fish and everything, and not having to bring that stuff along, especially in the winter when I go ice fishing and stuff. It gets a pain when I get to the end of the day taking my contacts out, and then if a rattle reel goes off in the middle of the night, I'm fumbling for my glasses to go and try and catch a fish.
Weiss Eye Center is the only clinic to offer blade-free Z LASIK in the Northland. To find out more and to arrange your free consultation, call 218-625-1917 today or visit weisseyecenter.com for more information. Weiss Eye Center. See the best.
You're invited to the Great Lakes Candy Kitchen, open for another season for all your candy pleasure. They're located on Scenic Highway 61, 10 miles north of Duluth in Knife River. They're third and fourth generation candy makers using traditional copper kettles to make their caramels, fudge brittles, and chocolate-dipped hot air. When you visit Great Lakes Candy Kitchen, be sure and try their famous nutty ice cream bar. Tell them you heard it on Stars Over the Prairie. Great Lakes Candy Kitchen, located just 10 miles north of Duluth in Knife River.
Like day and night in this town, people change like the weather. I was hoping by now, after all this time, we'd be closer together, living side by side like neighbors do. But now I realize I don't know you. Is it safe yet? Is it safe yet? Is it safe yet?
Is It Safe Yet? The new track off the Kipper Marinelli project. We've got both those gentlemen that are the two men in that project on the horn today. So who, Stan or George, who came up with the opening riff and idea for the song? Tell us how that evolved.
Well,
George,
I think I wrote. Okay, Stan. I think I wrote the music for that. I had it pretty intact, I think, melody and everything, right, Stan? And then I sent it to Stan, and he came up with this great storyline about, well, the lyrics speak for themselves, but about a town changing, and you think you know who your neighbors are, but then you find out they're full of hate and all this stuff. So, and you're worried about sending your kids to school and having them come back in one piece and things like that.
Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of people ask me as a songwriter, what do I write first, the words or the lyrics?
Well, you know.
I swear I heard crickets on that one.
Yeah,
I didn't know if you were asking the question.
I was going to say, what's your answer?
It's a joke I've been using. I don't use the joke as much anymore because that's usually the response I get. Total crickets. Anyway.
Yeah, man, the thing is, man, George sent that music over here, and I just wait to see what the music sends to me.
Yeah.
Character-wise and vibe-wise, and I just take it from there. I mean, and the melody and all this stuff, it just kind of flows up out of that music. But the music sends the story to me. And George and I, we didn't have to talk much about these songs. Which one of the things is really, really beautiful. We had so much in common about the structure and the length and where the bridge was going to go and all the rest of the stuff. We had the luxury of being able to let those thoughts and feelings roll over us, and we jumped in the car and wrote them. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Now tell us about, so how did you hook up with Loud Folk Records?
Loud Folk Records. I went out to see one of the main guys, John Wright, and he was out there. He said, "Stan, you're an interesting cat and all this stuff." He said, I had no idea that you wrote songs or sang or any of that stuff. He said, "I knew you played drums, but he said, "Do you have anything you can play for me?" And I said, "Well, yeah. As a matter of fact, I do." So I spun, I put the George and Stan stuff on, and after like the third song, he had this weird smirk on his face, and he said, "Stan, hold on a minute, I'll be right back." And he left me sitting in there, and he went and came back and said, "Do you have any more of this music?" So I played him a couple more songs, and he said, while I was gone, he said, I went over and called the president of the record company, Loud Folk Records, and I told him, I said, "Man, you gotta hear these guys." Anyway, that's how that started.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, he was knocked out about the stuff that George and I had done. And, as a result of that, the Prims got signed to Loud Folk after you heard the stuff that George and I had done together. And that's how that situation started. I was like, man, right on. Y'all got some nice ears, thank you.
So now when can, is the new record, Precious Times, is that currently out?
August 18th.
August 18th, yeah. All right. So this is the worldwide debut of Precious Times.
Yeah.
I'm honored that you guys let me share this with the world. So
I'm honored that you gave us the opportunity to do it, Paul. Thank you so much, my brother.
Well, I love my musician buddies, and I especially love my lifer musician buddies, the guys that have dedicated, just like mailmen, through thick and thin, rain and snow, to keep rocking.
Yeah, we didn't let any weather. We never let any weather get in our way while we were writing these things.
Now, George, do you see? Are you and Brother Stanley thinking about putting on some shows in person somewhere?
I'm not discounting it completely, but I'm not anxious to tour anymore.
Okay.
So we might, you never know if the situation was right. But what I've always found, that even when I was still in Nashville and putting bands together to go out and play just clubs around town, every time I get so close, and you want to play with a certain caliber of musician.
Sure.
I don't want to play with 20-year-olds. And we'd get kind of close, and then somebody go on the road, or somebody get a gig and have to cancel gigs, and I just kind of got sick of doing that.
Right.
And I know unless we got an opening spot on the tour with somebody, and then we, naturally we would have to put a band together, because it's us doing everything on this record. Nobody,
Right.
We did all the mixing and producing, and I did the artwork and everything. So, yeah, we'd have to put a lot of effort into it, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm not going to say no to it, but we don't have no plans right now. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, then like George says, if the thing is right, we will do it. You know what I mean? But neither one of us want to go out here and play these little poop bud clubs or any of this stuff. or trying to figure out what day it is, and you're waking up with a hangover in a hotel somewhere.
Yeah, we've already done that, haven't we?
Yeah.
Hey, what did you say? What was that word you used, Stan? In what kind of clubs?
Boot butt.
Okay.
Chris, did you beat that?
I wasn't quick enough, but I can take it out later.
We will for the podcast. Well, I'll tell you what, gentlemen, I do envision, Stan, let's get it together, put the 18 together. Let's bring George in just to do a gig at the Parkway in Minneapolis. You live around the corner. I love that joint. You've got a lot of history there with your family, and I would love to see George Marinelli and Stan Kipper rocking live in person 3D on the same stage.
Oh, I would love to.
Driving right now.
I
in
would
the car
like
right
that too.
now.
You know what? We could do it. You know what? Even above and beyond the record, we should just do a trio gig somewhere when we get the money together because Marinelli don't come cheap. I know that. Say, we're going to end this Stars Over the Prairie. I want to thank Stan Kipper and George Marinelli. Track down their new record, Precious Times, on Loud Folk Record. We're going to end this in kind of in the light that I was honored to be on the top 25 protest songs in Rolling Stone with my buddy Al Sparhawk. That song, No Kings, No Crown, is on my record, my new record, the compilation socially relevant songs called Songs of Resistance and Resolve. And this track is on there that I played with the great George Marinelli. It was produced by Bucky Baxter, who plays on it, as well as Gary Talent. So if I could play my own song here to end it out and thank the boys. Here's a little number called From Whistler Past the Graveyard called Another Man's Chains. Thanks, George. Thanks, Stan. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, George. Love you guys. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Bye-bye.
All right, I guess we'll play the song now.
Yeah.
Nobody told me life would be this tough. If you need a reason, right is reason enough. I said I ain't gonna work for a minimum wage. Make somebody's money, cleaning somebody's cage. Isn't any wonder why good men go insane? Nobody's got to wear another man's chains. Nobody's got to wear another man's chains. Oh, they hear it in Pretoria, they hear it in Beijing. The live bells of freedom waiting to ring. Well, the people in power getting tired, getting old. The people under their thumb, they're just about to explode. The tear gas won't stop them, neither will tanks.
Thanks for listening to Stars Over the Prairie. If you want to hear me live in person, I will be at Carmody's Irish Pub tonight from 6 to 8 p.m., 308 East Superior Street. Follow me at paulmetsa.com. Have a beautiful weekend. Stop by Flammer's Bar in Virginia at 2nd and Chestnut. And like my dad used to tell me, remember to be kind and make someone happy.
And I wish I could see stars over the prairie, stars over the prairie tonight. And I wish I could see.